Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity episode 334. Okay, we left off. Boy, did we left off. We were in a hearing, we got a point across, then the assassin came up, killed everyone, and I said, Webb's going to be dead, Lady Webb. And we got here and look, plot above. So I think that means she's dead. So let's interact, see what's going on. Yep, Lady Webb lies still in her bed. And I don't think she's sleeping, do you people? Oh, boy, this sucks, this does. It's on the bed, and odd cushion propping her back upright. The blood pooled beneath a gash in her chest. You remember, he did say, just wait for the day he stabbed her. Feels like he has. In tacky and nearly dry, a shattered glass rests on the floor beneath her dangling hand. You can feel the faint aura of her fading essence, and you think, reach out to her. You make contact and are immersed in a torrent of sensory input and experience. When it calms, you find yourself in the same room, lying in bed with a glass of brandy. Oh yeah, I remember she said if you come back, it'll be enough for the brandy. There might be some left for you. So she was half drunk when she got attacked. The wall from the streets outside comes the sound of screams and shattering glass. Kind of point of an angry mob. You take a sip and it warms your gullet. Did she? Wait a minute. Was she did the brandy because she knew he was going to show up and kill her tonight? Or he knew my thing would cause this reaction? And that's what if you're quick enough, you might be able to get a little sip. Across the room, the door opens behind. A patient, steady push into the room. Walks floorboards, and I was unconscious. One eye because my character fainted. Floorboards creaking beneath deliberate steps. You wait until the last of the brandy has trickled down your throat before you speak. I was a fool to think.
I was a fool to think I could tame these people.
Wow. Came close to
You came closer than most.
A fine epitaph.
No worse than any.
Okay, what's an epitaph? You're concentrating, focusing with all your energy. It feels as though you are diving into a stone wall over and over, but it cracks suddenly, unexpectedly, allowing the vanquished wisp of a thought to leak through.
What's in Twin Elms?
There's another place we tried to go in and we couldn't get there because part of that too.
Did you pull that from my thoughts?
Ooh.
I've had time to practice.
Ooh.
Ah.
He walks over to a small table. There's a half-empty brandy bottle to eye level. He seems to approve of the selection and begins to reach for an empty glass.
I was saving that for someone.
For me. Pity.
Pity.
Places the brandy
You
bottle.
know this is how it has to be.
He places the brandy bottle on the table with care before approaching the bedside. He sits on the edge of the bed next to you. What he just said. His words come freely, absent of all doubt. He draws a long curved knife from his belt, smeared with fresh blood. With his left hand, he gently pins your sternum as he raises the knife in the other, his point dangling above your heart.
Prove it.
So what did he say last? You know this is how it has to be. How to prove it. This is what she said he was always going to do. And slips the knife between her ribs. Your ribs. Well, I guess it's hers, but I'm seeing through her eyes, aren't I? So it works. Your ribs and pushes it through. Layers of tissue separate with brittle, papery stiffness, and blood wells up around the blade. A pulse of reflex causes you to drop your glass to the floor, and you hear it shatter. With the last of your strength, you take his knife, hand in both of yours, a question radiant in your mind. Completion Act 2. Yeah, finally, we've gone to Act 2. Oh, we completed Act 2. Oh, we're going to Act 3 then. For an instant, to your great surprise, the pathway to his mind is left open to you, unguarded, and the answer comes simple. Cataclysm in its recording of your thoughts. As Lady Webb, you feel as through you have an answer you search for all your life, but in your own mind, your understanding lies just beyond your reach. You look at Thanos, or Faros, whatever his name is, with the wide eyes of someone seeing for the first time, and draw your last breath as a black, velvety darkness descends upon you. Hopefully we level from that. Got a lot of experience.
Smoke rises above the city walls in billowing plumes that blacken the sky like a storm. Behind the walls, the riots rage on. Known patrons of animancy are forced into hiding as looters ransack their estates and make off with their possessions. Animancers are torn away from their families and dragged from their homes to be stoned to death in the streets. Word had spread immediately that Duke Avar had been assassinated, and that an animancer was to blame. The city wasted little time in exacting revenge, and little effort into evaluating guilt. In the center of it all, Brackenberry Sanitarium burned. And down the lane, Hodred House, the last bastion of stability in the Deerwood, had fallen silent. Now safely outside the city gate, your path points eastward to Twin Elms, where Theos is bound.
Thanos.
For reasons that remain mysterious as the leaden key itself.
Wow. Guess we can finally go there now. I need to get some wood before we leave. As it places me there already. I was expecting that. Fudge. Bloody hell. You can automate your party members actually to combat with AI settings. Access through there or something. See, look her. Thought the mods would pull the keep apart stone by stone. So that's as a large. Trap to Twin Elms.
Not a problem.
Home is flames back there. What's happened? Divine Spy. So the thugs have left the brothel. I'm just asking for a friend. some of the plays they put on at the amphitheatre are quite good. If you need an inn for the night, Goose and Fox has the softest beds and the best ale. Is Goose and Fox on fire? Xander Zan. What was this? As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul. Voices from his past seem to call to you. You see a flurry of matted white hair and incandescent freeze fire staff. Before you see the man, cold and wild, he chews a wizard apple slowly. A wizard apple slowly? What? Discharging spell after spell into the jumble of villagers, screeching their way towards him. Cold flame vents from his nose and apple seeds shoot out the side of his mouth. Wow. As he satters forward or something. Ignoring arrows and curses alike. Deliberate twist of his staff and a bullet of force glides through the torso of one assailant and another. A roar blisters his throat as he launches himself into their mist, tearing into their essence with his staff. Pleading hand reaches towards him and quickly falls, gnawed. Silence takes hold as the tattered man gathers his prize, a basket of fresh pears. He hums as he eats. Wow. Expecting that. Have you been to the exhibition hall yet? They might find your type of work there. Problem fires? I would not. Because Knights have been warning everyone to stay out of the catacombs. They're not safe anymore. Even the city, just saying. Such a grim times. I'm glad that not everyone takes things so seriously. Yes, it's the place on fire, but okay. A man's den might have worked for someone with your background. Probably on fire, so probably not right now. As you near the field of vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul, voices from his past seem to call out to you. You see a ship, not a whip. You see a ship being tossed about in a storm-ravaged sea. The swells rise and fall, carrying the ship with them as if it were a toy. This man stands on a deck at the helm of the ship, while water whips around him. The crew moves about frantically, trying to keep the chaos under control. He barks orders at them, pointing where to go and giving each one a task. The men, while still visibly distressed, seems to calm down when they are given their orders. He instructs the helmsman to resume his duties at the wheel and rushes to the aid of the crewman, who is struggling with a rope attached to one of the sails. The ship crests a wave going almost vertical in one direction, and then immediately again in the other direction. Several of the crew are thrown from their feet, sliding across the deck as the ship rocks. After the swell passes and the ship returns to a relatively normal rotation, the man quickly scans the deck, counting silently. No one has been lost this time. Thankfully, he looks in the direction they are headed, seeing no reprieve from the storm. Oh, basically, storms are given, and his jaw squared and his upper lip stiffened. He returns to the helm and takes the wheel again. As you near, you feel a vibrant history containing the essence of the woman's soul reach out. You see a lavishly decorated room, walls hung with tapestries, ardent oil lamps creating a warm, relaxing atmosphere. There are several overstuffed couches, covered with silk pillows and an elegant table in the middle of the floor. This woman is seated at the table, sitting across from another woman. They are both well dressed, their style benefiting the room they're in. The other woman's hair is blonde, in stark contrast to this woman's black, and is swept up on her head in a dramatic style. The woman speaks in an easy, free tone, obviously familiar with one another. Though they each seem to be comfortable in the other's company, a strange nervousness surrounds the blonde woman's actions. She occasionally betrays herself with a little giggle or stammer, hitching over an easy word as she speaks. Her demeanor swings from friendly to shy and back again with no warning. The woman leans back. God, it's a lot. Back a little in her chair, stretching lightly. As she finishes her stretch, she gently lays her hand next to the other woman's hand, letting their fingers suddenly intertwine. Oh, these lovers or something. The second woman stops speaking and mid-sentence inhales sharply and turns red. She does not, however, move her hand. This woman smiles and moves her hand further over the other, holding it. She then stands, moving around the table towards the blonde woman, whose face shows conflicting emotions of terror and lust. She giggles and pulls her hand out from under the other and brings it to her mouth. Wow. The red on her face deepening. This woman stops, looking down at her. Eyes sparkling, she reaches out and pulls something from the blonde's hair, letting it fall around her shoulders. Sort of like a hairpiece, I guess. Then she leans over, brushing her lips lightly over the blonde woman's cheek. She's going to ruin this and just slit her throat or something. Resting her mouth against her ear. As she whispers, her hand moves lightly down the other woman's body to her waist. The blonde shudders and leans into the hand, eyes closing, cheeks pressing against the lips, still whispering at her ear. This woman's hand defiantly removes a small bag from the other woman's belt. Oh, she's robbing her. And secretes it under her own cloak, at the small of her back. Then she gently kisses the other woman's cheek and stands again and smiles, never leaving her. Wow. She seduced her to rob her. At least that's better than slitting her throat like I thought was going to happen. Did you, didn't we? Your scholar, you want it? No, we don't. It's on fire! Fire! Okay, so first we want to go back to our place. Nakadu. We want to pick some wood up and find where our treasure chest is, because apparently there's a lot of stuff been put in that recently. And then we want to head to Twin Elms, finally. On our way to Twin Elms. We tried to get there before, but it wouldn't let us. We went past this act. Finally, we passed this act. Yeah. Okay, that'd be good. Alrighty then. Well, most creatures will detect the character just after they appear at the edge of the fog of war. To sneak up, use scouting mode. Okay, we found we can just do that here. Oh.
As beautiful as it can be with the absence of children.
Yeah. We need to buy wood, but we'll rest them. Oh! Seriously? I've tried to rest! Half asleep, but tired of defying whispers assails you. Chipping even, away at your senses. At your mind understanding of itself. Their roar is louder, and each passing night their attacks more bizarre, less confident to your subconscious. Familiar voice fights its way through the dim, calling out to you.
You howl in the night, Watcher, like a beaten dog with its tail tucked.
Okay, good.
If it is sympathy you call for, you do yourself no favors in the eyes of the gods.
Oh my god, shut up! Rabs on the side of your head with his staff. I made noise.
You shook. You spoke words of dead languages. You yowled in fear. It has become your routine of late.
Why are you
I'd
staring
have
at me?
stepped in sooner, but for all your writhing, I thought I might be interrupting the wrong kind of dream.
Oh, you thought I was having a humpy dream, apparently. I may be going. Was spectacular until you came along.
Hide it all you want, Watcher. But it's all too clear you are suffering for playing with the god's fire, as all Watchers deserve. But you have not been broken yet, Watcher. Do not give your enemies the satisfaction before it is due.
Is he supposed to be like Ali or not? All they deserve. Okay, I'll go get a ward and their items. And then we'll head to Twin. Oh, we're at 50 minutes actually, so we'll probably do that next episode actually. Come on, guys. So please like, please subscribe, please tune in next time. I'm IVATOPIA. You've been awesome. Thanks for watching and have a great wonderful day as we head in here. Bye everybody!